What's up YouTube, ODST General back again, and today we have some Outlaws of the Old West. So, this is a Western kind of game, sort of like Minecraft or Rust type of deal. It's early access, available on Steam, and it's not the greatest of games, to be honest with you guys, just right off the bat from the get-go. But it's got some charm to it. It's got some well, it's got possibilities, is really what it comes down to for me. It's an interesting concept of a game. I don't know if it's going to be any good. There is, character customization, stuff like that. So I mean, there's a lot of potential draws for people to. I'm just gonna leave the skin color same. Just potential draws for people to want to possibly, invest in this game and play it. So, kind of a potentially interesting game, though. Actually, no. I lied. Let's do the skin color. See if we can find somebody a little bit more old and grizzled, perhaps. There's a ton of skin. Oh, they reduced the skin options. It feels like. Okay. Well, we'll go with somebody a little bit pastier, just because. Why not? And. Yeah, we'll do this one. Okay. And you can customize the clothing color for the initial starting outfit. I always like to go with the blue Union suit. So this is a primarily multiplayer game. There is a single player game, although, to be honest, there doesn't seem to be much reason to me to do that. Really, this is a sandbox style. There isn't set activities to do or play. There isn't much point to just going out here if you're looking for an objective game or something where it tells you what to do. This is really just to go out and do whatever the heck you want. Be that build up communities, be an outlaw, PvP with people. Right now, since I'm just doing this video, I'm going to forgo playing online and multiplayer. I had a PvE character set up, and it looks like they wiped the servers. So that's kind of a bad spawn. That's an AI gunslinger there. So far, there is no good AI in the game. So, oh, there's a horse there too. That'd be cool if I could get a horse early on. There's no good AI, unfortunately. I mean, I guess there's guards and stuff, so there's good AI you can buy or get access to, but they don't seem to spawn in naturally, at least not yet. Maybe down the line they will, so maybe give you reason. Oh, he is running over here. I think he knows I'm here. He is coming after me, I think. Oh boy, yeah, he's coming after me. I don't have anything to fight him, so we're gonna just we're gonna try and collect stuff as we go here. He's not moving very quick, but if he starts shooting at me, there's very little I can do. So, that's one of the things in the game. Sometimes you spawn in randomly. Sometimes you get lucky at the draw. Sometimes you don't. This is good stuff here. So I will say this though. Like I said, it's not the greatest game ever, and the reason I say that is because, I mean, not just because it's not a AAA title, but because despite the promises or potential cool stuff in the game, there really isn't very much you can do. I mean, just besides going out and getting resources and upgrading buildings. And the other thing is the bigger thing probably even is performance issues, because going out building up the buildings and community and stuff would be cool because there's roleplay servers if it didn't like lag the game to no end. When you're playing by yourself, it's not too bad, even on smaller PvE servers, but you start getting into even moderately larger towns that people start to make, and it just will kill the game. It'll kill your computer with lag and stuff, and the servers just can't handle it, which is funny because this game is designed to have up to like potentially 150 people playing at one time. So, I mean, it's designed to have tons and tons of people. It's just doesn't. It can't handle it. It's not actually designed for that. I mean, it might say that it can, but it's not actually designed for it. I went on one of the larger roleplay servers. There's two fairly large roleplay servers, and I ended up joining one, and they had a pretty big town. It was really cool, and the town was building up a ton of buildings. You know, they had a few houses completed around a little pond where I actually built my house on a different server, and you know, it was kind of neat. But you know, you get there and you get into house, it just starts lagging. So you know, you can barely interact with people. The lag's so bad because game freezes up every few seconds. For a lot of people without stronger computers, it's just crashing outright. You know, there's not even lag at that point. It's just the game can't handle it at all. So right now we're just basically gathering resources to get a basic setup going. Personally, what I like to do is I always like to try and build next to a source of water. You can get a well, but it's just that much extra work that you need to do, which isn't really necessary unless you want to like try and build somewhere a little less obvious, or you just want to do something a bit different, like maybe build in some of the you know, desert like cliffs or whatever. And what you heard there, that little musical tone just indicates I ranked up. So there is ranking for this, and I don't think there's a rank cap, but it does start to get a lot longer before you can start doing stuff. We're going to put up accuracy. Right now I don't feel like health is a major issue. Like, even when you're getting shot at and stuff, usually can take several shots, and the AI is pretty inaccurate as it is, so you know, you don't really need to worry about it. The only thing that you need to worry about are like bears and buffalo, because those will kill you in just a couple hits, but honestly a couple extra points of health isn't going to stop that from happening anyways either, so it's just best to avoid them early on until you have something that you can either use to stop them from hitting you, or get away from them as they chase you. So, and we're just we're collecting all this stuff here. Like I said, we've got some supplies and stuff we got to make. So, what do we have scout out? Not much. So this is actually we actually spawned in right near, and this seems to be the most common spawn point. I don't know if this changes from server to server or what, but this is actually the area most people seem to gather around, just because it's pretty close to the starting area. The pond or river, whatever you want to call it, is it's actually kind of a combination. It's a larger one, so you know it provides pretty good amount of water and stuff. I'm just gonna chop down this tree, get plenty of wood here, so we're gonna make ourselves a small shelter, or at least a moderate-sized house. But yeah, there's a lot of potential to upgrade and grow your structures, your weapons and stuff. They have, you know, like, I'm trying to think of, like, muskets, you got Springfield rifles, you got 6-shooters, repeater rifles, you know, so lots of different weapons. They've got a bow and arrow you can craft, which, we don't have enough rope yet, because we haven't crafted any rope. We need rope, so we need, what is it, 5 rope? So we want that pretty badly, because the sooner we can get a weapon, the better. And we're going to do that. And while we're at it, we're going to craft ourselves this and this. So we got a bow and arrow, so that will both allow us to better protect ourselves from, you know, potential predators or gunmen, anything like that. And it'll also give us the opportunity that once we go out and start trying to go after animals, we can get ourselves some things like raw hides and pelts and stuff, which are obviously, you know, used in crafting. So yeah, we got our arrow here, and we got our hammer. So the hammer is one of several tools which are designed for building. So there's actually several upgrades to this hammer, or different hammers, I should say, not upgrades, but different hammers that you can make to, you know, build stuff up. So let's take a look here. Nice resource spawns around here. Well, the map doesn't change. It's a pretty large map. It doesn't necessarily feel large, because if you're actually trying to actively go around it, you can get around the map pretty quick if you're trying to, but in the natural course of gameplay, the map actually ends up being pretty large for how people play, especially if you don't have, like most servers, you don't have 150 people playing. Most servers only have like 20-30 people playing on the high servers. It's not a lot of people playing this right now. So we're going to put down some walls. So yeah, just a basic log cabin here. if I want 2 windows together. Yeah, let's do 2 windows together like that. It costs the same as the actual wall, but we're by ourselves, so I'm not really worried about setting up some sort of defensive encampment or anything like that. Okay, so we ran out of wood. We need more wood. I did not chop nearly enough, it seems. There's larger trees over there. Let's get this this iron here too. So yeah, thankfully, resource gathering at least early on isn't too bad. You can build yourself a fairly decent sized house pretty quickly. Oh God, honey badger don't care. And yeah, so as far as animals go, there's a variety of animals. You know, they all act a little bit differently, but for the most part, there isn't anything vastly different enough about them that they feel, you know, crazy different. I don't know if I've seen everything in the game either, because I think they have like eagles and ravens and stuff, and I've seen some of those, but not all of them, I don't think. I've seen sheep, which, you know, they'll give you wool and stuff if you have the right tools. They're passive, they'll just run away. Rabbits, they don't provide very much meat, they'll run instantly as soon as you get anywhere near them. Deer, you know, they'll run off if you attack them, but then you've got bison. Bison are pretty aggressive. If you get too close to them, they'll attack you. They're a little less aggressive than like wolves or coyotes, which are in here as well. Wolves tend to spawn in packs. Bisons sometimes do, sometimes they don't. So there is, like I said, there's minor differences between the animals. There's some things that make some of them more worthwhile than others to go after. Let's see here. So we need a roof, so we could just build a log ceiling. So this is actually designed so that it's basically a second floor. So if you put that down, water leaks through. You can do a flat roof, which is here, but let's do a sloped roof. I mean, it's a little bit more work, but it looks just a little bit nicer, I think. We could do a tall slope or a half slope. We're just going to do a half slope because once again, I think that just looks better. Personal preferences. Maybe. Come on, you were just there. And usually I don't give myself enough room to do this, but I think I gave myself enough room this time. Yep. Normally I have to do like a flat roof on the top or build it asymmetrically. So I don't bother to count out how many tiles I throw down on the ground ever. So yeah, now we got a roof. We do need a little bit of extra pieces here down just to cover up those extra bits there. I think this is the opposite of the one I originally got up there. No, it doesn't want to go up. Gosh. What if we do this? Might have to go outside for this. That one just does not want to go up. So sometimes too, building has been an issue in this as well. Not really a big issue ever, but it has occasionally come up as a bit of an issue. I heard something behind me here too. A little bit paranoid early on when you get set up like this. Just never really know. You gotta pay attention because you never know when something might come up. I've had like roving criminal games just come in and you know, the gangs attack you, and you just got to be careful for that sort of thing. Well, hopefully here we can... Oh, now I can't remember which one that is. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, nice and that's nice and completed here. Not a very big house that we're doing, but you know, like I said, it's good shelter. That's really all we're after here. Is just decent shelter to get us by. This is just single player, so I don't plan on investing a whole lot of time in this. But I just want to show you guys, you know, some of the building mechanics, how it works, kind of how efficient it is. They just added a new patch today, too, that released a bunch of new stuff. Something to do with, like, auctioneers and some other stuff. So let's go ahead. Now that we've got that all built, we do need a couple other things here. Now, normally I like to build a porch and stuff, and part of that's just because I think it looks a little bit better, but also I find that I can usually lure criminals, and it gives me criminals and animals and stuff, and it gives me a little bit of a fighting chance against some of the larger ones, where it kind of forces them to stay away from the house a ways, and I can kind of use that to my advantage in a gunfight. And the thing is it's dangerous, you know. You can get killed by a lot of things in here, but it's not impossible. We're also going to put this down. I almost forgot about that. So this is just a fish trap. It's really easy to get fish and food and stuff like that. I've found it's actually, I personally think this, at least, it's too easy to get various fish and food and stuff like that. And you know, when you're playing this, you don't have to build a shelter and do stuff like this too. Either you can make it more challenging for yourself than this by simply just choosing to forgo building like a house or a structure. You just build yourself, you know, like tents and stuff like that. But unfortunately, tents and stuff seem to be a little bit more difficult to get. Like, you can get a campfire, but if you want like a sleeping bag, you need like the tannery, I think, or a spinning wheel and stuff to make some of that. So we just built ourselves a chimney, fireplace, and we can use that to cook this bit of meat we have here. Try and double click to get it to go. That won't work. We could also eat these berries too to help with our hunger. Just one bit of meat, so we're just gonna put one log on there. Temperature is something else you have to manage. I've not found temperature to be an issue most of the time. I've seen it drop a little bit low or raise up really high. The only thing I dislike about the temperature is that it shifts really rapidly sometimes. So you'll go out, you'll be fine, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're going from like 70 degrees to 120 degrees over the course of like 10 seconds. So it's a bit ridiculous at some points. They're trying to deal with that, but beyond that, it's not too bad at all. While we're waiting on that to cook, it's already almost done, but let's take a look at some of the other things we can do. So you can get a torch, a handheld torch. I don't really do. You got a primitive spear and a stone spear, so one of those is for throwing, one's for poking. Bola, which I guess I haven't actually used most of these because I just instantly go for this bow and arrow right away, which is really good. But you know, you got various different weapons. You got a campfire, which works the same as the fireplace here, which is that it heats you up and it can be used to cook food. Let me eat that real quick. You've got that. You've got the animal traps. You got the fish trap. You got the tannery, which, like I said, is used to craft items out of like rawhide and pelts and stuff like that. You've got the mallet, which we made. You got sub items like rope, which is of course used to make larger items like the bow and arrow or various other tools and crafting items. You got band-aids, spinning wheel, trough for feeding horses. We got horse post, fishing net, beehive, so all sorts of different things. Wells for getting water if you're not by a water source like I like to build. So if you want to build further away, the well is useful. Storage crates, we got forges for crafting refined materials like iron ore, or changing that into iron bricks. An anvil, all sorts of different crafting things. So let's go ahead. We have enough materials for a metal bench, so we'll build one of those. You can see we've got different various wagons. You've got a bounty board you can place down if you're playing with other people. Mailbox if you have planks. So let's see here. Speaking of planks, let's check this out. So we need one leather. Which I need 3 rawhide to even make that at all. So we need to hunt more animals in order to do anything with that. But let's go ahead and place this in here. Just like this. Interact with it. And then you can see, so this has its own subsection of tools, which do various things. So you've got like a throwing knife, you've got a sickle, which is used for gathering plants, ice axe, you've got candles, which you can make using the beeswax. If you combine that with the beehive here, using planks and stuff, you can make wax candles and everything that you can put up. You've got animal traps, so you can catch larger animals. So the animals actually have to like walk over this, so if you throw it out in just some random spot, you're probably not going to catch an animal. But if you see an animal spawn, like you have buffalo or something spawning by your house, throwing down the large trap would actually be a really awesome way of handling that. Upgrade versions of the other tools, I mean, it just goes on. You got things like a stove to cook meat faster, a pipe wrench for plumbing stuff, you got a saber for melee attacks. I think all these pots and stuff, these are all new items that just got patched in, as well as this ceiling lamp here. These weren't in previously. I'm guessing most of these are just for looks. It's 10 iron ore, it's not too bad. Probably should have gone for the one that was 5, but whatever. Let's throw one of these on. Let's take a look, see how it works, because these, like I said, they're new. I don't know if these actually do anything. A lot of the stuff they're adding, they've added a bunch of stuff here recently. And I don't know if a lot of it actually does anything or not. A lot of it seems to just be decorative. So yeah, that's just, it looks like you just place it down. It doesn't actually do anything in all likelihood. I'm just going to throw it down there because it's not in the ground. Yeah, so it's just for looks. And then you can destroy it and it explodes. Going back here, we've caught a couple fish. So we'll go ahead. We're gonna throw these on the fire with a log. We'll cook these fish, and we're gonna go out hunting here in just a minute. As soon as I find the fish that I just literally got out just a second ago. Okay. So we got that. How many arrows do we have? 13. I'd prefer to have a few more. It's really easy to go through arrows really quick, unfortunately. You can click faster than just clicking on stuff too. I also find that on top of the AI being kind of bad aim, they are really difficult to hit in a lot of situations. They don't move very naturally, and I've seen like lag and stuff, of course, has an effect too, which is fine. Yeah, you'll get that in any game, but it's definitely an affecting factor in some cases. So you can see my temperature is going up too as I run around here. And we actually gained another level a minute ago, so we're going to put our accuracy up even further. This guy is probably going to be really difficult to get, yeah, because he's going to run off as soon as we pop up, but that's another buck or something over there. So, pretty difficult to kill animals early on, I find. Some more so than others. If you do hit him in the head, it does seem to do more damage that way. It's a buck. That's not the one we were just after. I don't know where the guy we were after just went. He's got to have gone straight over this hill. That can't have been the same one that I just looked at over there. We lost him somehow. There's some wolves over there. They're a bit hard to see. They can be kind of a pain in the butt. We're not going to go after them. Oh, there he is. So yeah, he blended in with the environment pretty good there. Nice. Okay. Gotta arch that a bit there because it's got a pretty decent drop off, so it can be kind of tricky to use that bow and arrow sometimes. So we got enough from him that we can craft our tannery here, which is a fairly important tool because it's used to make leather. Let's see while we're over here. Sometimes you get lucky, and some of these ponds will have mallard ducks just hanging out in them. Don't see any, though. We got our tannery. Looks like that wolf is slowly closing in on us with his packmate not too far behind him. A little low. Oh gosh, okay, so he just... Oh, So he's just gonna sit here and take it, so we're gonna take advantage of that. So yeah, we got some pelts off of him. We're not gonna mess with those buffalo. I was worried there for a second because I was completely exposed to that wolf. If he attacked me, he might have been able to kill me. There was a really good chance of that, especially with the packmate there not having been hit at all. So we're going to go ahead and head back. I forgot to put a marker up on the house, but it should just be right over here. Yeah, we just built on a pond. We didn't go very far. You can place markers down to help yourself navigate easier. Usually I'll just put those on the house, at least until you get a spawn point up. Once you have a spawn point up, it'll actually show you where your house is that way. So, anyways, I think we're going to wrap it up here in just a second. I got to start getting ready for work here. So I don't have too much longer to show this off, but it's kind of a cool game. It's an interesting idea. You know, you can start getting more and more things. We'll go back actually. We'll check out the hammer, one of the upgraded hammers, just give you guys kind of an idea of some of the extra stuff you can do once you start going a little bit further. You know, obviously you can craft windows and doors and all sorts of other stuff as we go through here. Stairs, you got all this stuff, but your options begin to expand out. You get a little bit more variety, a little bit more decorative stuff as you go on here. So let's see here. We've got a couple different hammers we can build. So this is the metal hammer. There's also one under the wooden carpentry table, which is like a lower version. The metal, actually, somewhat ironically, I think the metal is actually easier to get to as far as the crafting table goes than the wood, the carpentry table. But the carpentry table is all the easier to get stuff. Interesting. So we got bull skull. That's one of the new decorative things they put in. So you can see you got leather, you got a Boda that contains drinking water, so that way if you're not by a water source or you're out in the desert, you can take that with you if you're going to be out there for a while. So let's see here, our other hammer should be done. And while we're at it, let's do this. You have this for making bricks. If you have a forge, you can make bricks to make brick housing. So bricks are pretty easy to get because you can get them from stone. It takes a lot of rock to make a stone house, or a brick house, but you know it's a lot easier than certain other things like trying to find iron ore all over the place to get some of the other higher end wooden stuff. So actually, we're gonna build two things here. We already got the hammer built, but we're also gonna build that mailbox here. So mailbox is kind of neat because it's actually allows people not only to message you, so if we go in here and interact with it, oh, there it goes. I was about to say it might have been broken by the last patch. If we go in here, you can actually see you've got an inbox where people can actually contact you, or you can send out mail to other people. I'm the only person to send mail to, but you can actually send mail out to other people, or you can go to a contract and there's contracting things you can do. So you've got guards that you can hire, which I don't have $500, so I don't think, or anyway, I don't think I'll be able to do any of this. You've got a hired gun. You've got mine shafts that can be used to get things like gold. Got gold exchange. Train station. Train station's another new one. I don't know exactly how the train station would work. And auctioneer and stuff. Let's try. Yeah, not enough money. So I don't really know how you effectively get money. Killing outlaws and stuff like that, they'll give you money, but it's kind of a crapshoot. You're not guaranteed to get money from them, so I don't know if that's something you're mainly got to get from other players who have basically killed a bunch of other people themselves, or what. But kind of an interesting focus. So it would be a little bit better if it was a little bit more clear on how to get money. But the game doesn't teach you anything. You just go out. And what you guys saw me spawn in as, that's the game's introduction on how to play. I mean, you guys watch it. It throws you in there. It doesn't tell you how to do anything. And that's the way games like these should be. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a successful game. I don't know if it's going to become a better game at any point. You know, like I said, it's a game of potential. That doesn't mean it's going to be good. It doesn't mean that it's great now. It's got lots of flaws. It's only being made by 2 guys, so you know, as far as development goes, it's going pretty quick for being 2 guys, but it's always hard to say where something like that might go later on down the road. They just had launch, so of course they're going to push really hard to try and ensure a successful launch and good reviews and stuff like that. You know, and then it's after that fact, you know, a month or 2 from now when, you know, people have stopped doing reviews and it's just, you know, what the game's going to be long term. You know, we'll see if these guys hold up over the long term or if they end up being kind of crappy developers. We won't know until that point, but I do like the promise of this. You know, it's a little bit more grandiose than what Red Dead Online has ended up being, and you know, I like westerns. It's something you guys don't really see me play or probably talk about often, but I do like western games. I like the kind of survival aspect. I love the idea of building up your own little western town with other players, you know, having your own jail and stuff like that, but I just don't know that this game is going to be capable of actually doing that, to actually be able to maintain that and make it playable and feasible. So I'll have to wait and see. At the end of the day, it's hard to say, like I said, so not sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed Outlaws of the Old West. If you do want to see more of this, let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely not opposed to making more videos of this. I just don't know if it's going to be popular with anybody or not. I mean, like I said, this is basically the gist of the game. You know, we can get in there, can do some PvP, PvE, roleplay servers, whatever you guys want to see, let me know. And we'll get some more videos out for that if that's what you guys want. Other than that, guys, take it easy, and I will see you guys in the next one. I missed the honey badger. That's right, honey badger, now you care.